Nice. So Roy was doing the transition into what's next on. So Rees is going to talk about the Surfer's Bible, which is incredible, you guys. This is a big project. Come on. This, like we're talking about the Word of God, right? Come on.
We're talking about the Word of God.
Yes.
We are.
Yeah. And we need to get the fire out. You know, the sword, we're going to get it out. So this is what it's all about now, okay?
Thank you, Lars. All right, quick disclaimer. I am actually quite nervous. I don't get to speak to many people. I'm usually the guy at the back of the room. But I am so grateful to be up here today. This project is close to my heart. And man, it's going to make a massive impact. So before I get into the what and the how you guys can be involved and help make this project a success, the why. Roy was speaking about the why. It is so important to reach every surfer in every surfing nation to know and follow Jesus. So everything I say, I've actually got a hang of a lot to get through. Everything I say, please frame it through that lens. We want to reach people. We want to reach people who are in surf communities around the world. But we have a problem. Next slide. We don't have any more Bibles to distribute. The English Bibles that we had, they're all finished. They're all in your hands and all in your friends' hands, and that's great. It's a great problem, but it's still a problem. Next slide, please. Roy's vision, or God's vision, Roy just shared with us, by 2030, 100 countries, 1,000 missions, and 2% media reach, which is roughly about 500,000 people. That is six and a half years away. It's a short time. And why I'm so passionate about it is because I completely believe that online, digital space is going to play a massive role in that. All right, so let me find my notes. So we're completely in the beginning stages of this, and we're trying things out. So next slide, we have a media cohort. We've only met once so far. What this is anyone who is remotely in the space, whether you're an illustrator, a photographer, a videographer, a copywriter, a proofreader, a web developer, anyone in this space, please chat to Kyle. Kyle, please stand up. He is the communications manager. Kyle is the communications manager for Christian Surfers, so we need more people to make this happen is really the bottom line. So that's a call to action. You know someone, get them to chat to him. We want them in the media cohort. We want to do Zoom meetings. We want to work out how we're going to do this. All right. So I was in J-Bay in July. I don't live there. I come from Cape Town, South Africa. And I was in J-Bay. I was sitting in a room with Casey, Kyle, Roy, and Marnie. And we were saying, guys, have you seen, like, everything we come across in media right now is Namibia. It was completely blowing up. They had the Skeleton Bay Challenge on at the moment, at that time. And guys were flying in from all parts of the world and getting the biggest, longest barrels of their life. It hadn't broke this big since 2012, when it kind of first got unveiled to the world. And guys were on it. So we were sitting in the room, and Kyle said, guys, if we're going to reach people, we need to reach people with where they're at. What if we started creating media that would reach people? What if CS was in Namibia creating content specifically for Instagram, specifically for YouTube, so that we would attract people's attention and have a gospel message in it? And we're like, yo, that is the dream. That is the dream. I get back to Cape Town. A few days later, Kyle calls me. He says, have you seen the charts? And I'm like, yes, Namibia. It's looking bigger. It's looking better. And we're like, are we going? And I'm like, pull the trigger. Let's do it. So we went. It was a grueling, well, I didn't go, but they went. It was a grueling few days for the guys. Here's the first 2 minutes of a 28-minute edit. Have a watch.
This wave is insane, like the heaviness, just how many broken boards and carnage, it was nuts. Like even Kelly Slater walked past and asked him how it was, how his first session was, and he said, this wave is so difficult.
chasing these waves and getting barreled is so cool. Like that I already knew, but just how that moment and that joy doesn't last forever. Like you come out of the barrel, you're stoked, you come onto the beach, your friends are frothing, they're getting you hyped, and 15 minutes later when you're back out there looking for another wave, you've forgotten all about that feeling. And that feeling of joy and stoke doesn't like last forever. And the only thing that can like fill you forever and keep you happy and not having to seek something new all the time is Jesus.
All right, so that's the first 2 minutes of an edit. Next slide. Next slide, please. It's on YouTube. It's on the Christian Surfers channel. Guys, I'm really wanting to encourage you. Call to action here. Get your phones out. Subscribe to it. We're going to be putting out a bunch of content. And it's not content just to watch. It's content to share. It's content to steal. It's content to contact Kyle and say, hey, can I have it? Can I put it on our channel? Can I put it on Instagram? Get the word out there is what I'm saying. So, guys, the next big project. Next slide. The next big project, guys, I'm so stoked about. But again, back to the problem. We have no Bibles. Next slide. This is it. It's going to be the Surfer's Bible. Here's a mock image of it. It looks beautiful. We've modeled it after the last French Bible. It's going to be a beautiful coffee table print Bible that you'll happily put in your hands. Next slide. So far, since roughly the early 2000s, we've handed out over 100,000 gospel resources. That's the Surfer's Bible, it's tracts, it's Surfing Through James, sorry, not Surfing Through James, the Gospel of John tracts is what I'm thinking. It's done in over 7 languages. Guys, these stats are great. These stats are good for donors, but if we need to reach the 2030 vision of 500,000 people weekly online, 1,000 missions around the world and 100 countries affiliated, it's going to be with God's help, and I am so excited for that. So, next slide. We're launching this next year by April 2024 in English and French. The English people are happy to be the guinea pigs, but we're definitely doing it in French straight away because of the Olympics. Because as you heard yesterday, Flora and Kirk are doing missions in Tahiti and in France. We're going to be doing face-to-face, and man, this Bible is going to reach so many people. I am super excited. We are planning on rolling it out in other major languages very shortly, definitely Spanish, Portuguese, and possibly quite a few others to come. Next, please. The printed Bible will have QR codes. Actually, just next slide. It will have QR codes, so instead of reading a full testimony in the Bible, you guys get the Bible, you give it out, they read it, they get hooked, they use their phone, scan it, but it takes them to an online digital platform, which then they can watch a full testimony. We've updated it, we've become digital. It's not just a print thing, it's completely integrated. Next, please. So, the idea is we want to give these Bibles away. We don't want to just hold them. Okay, let me, disclaimer, it is going to be for qualifying people, so you guys might have to buy them, but we want to give it away to people who don't have access to Bibles, who don't have the Bibles, who are in surfing nations, but we want to give it away for free. That's the heart, for every surfer in every surfing community. Let's watch a quick video.
My name is Kai Belli. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Brazil, and I'm a professional surfer. I had my first Bible when I was 9 years old, and that Bible was given from a guy that, like, I know that guy, but like I don't have contact with that person often. He just like, yeah, I really wanted to give you something, and it was a Christian Surfer's Bible, and he signed the Bible on the back. This is a gift for you, this and that. So I was 9 years old, and he gave me that Bible. I put next to my bed. It was there for a very long time. I still have it in my house. And that Bible, the way it caught me was because I was already a surfer, and for me it was so interesting to read everybody's testimony. And at that time, I didn't really have, I wasn't really in the surfing world, so like the closest contact that I could have to someone like Eric Arakawa, which was like and the iron's shaper. He made boards for everybody. And that time we didn't have Instagram, so it's like what I could get in contact with him was actually reading his testimony on the Bible. So I remember going through all of that, and also reading the Bible, because I think they left their favorite passages on the bottom, right? So you could check it out. So that was the first time I had access to a Bible.
All right, I'm going to ask to
For me,
I'm going to ask to cut that there, unfortunately. You guys can watch this. It's online. You can watch the rest of that little video. But next slide, please. Yeah, there's going to be lots of content posted the next week of content you can use, you can steal, you can put on your own stuff to play. Next slide. So the Surface Bible has been made by amazing people. I've suddenly got 10 minutes. Great. Okay. The Surface Bible has been made by many amazing people. There's been logistics. There's been people working just on design. There's been people proofreading. There's been a logistics company from Australia. There's been a digital company from South Africa. There's been web developers. There's been so many people involved, and I'm so stoked how this product's looking. And just the reality is it's going to cost $8 to get this into someone's hand out there. So for $8, this isn't an appeal for you to give the $8. It's an appeal for you to get involved to raise the $8 per Bible. Yes. The $8, it's not a lot. And Christian Surfers globally is going to be running a surfathon on the 28th of October. Next slide. And what this is, we've mainly been chatting to the 5 major English nations: New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, America, and England. And on the 28th of October, we want to raise a lot of money. So the idea is to sign up, to get your friends involved, and raise donations. There's an amazing platform. You can go to thesurfersbible.com, and it's got a full integration of payment system. You send a QR code or a link to your friends, and they can do it in their own currency, whether it's in euros, dollars, rands, Aussie dollars, anything. And I think we're going to be adding more currencies as well quite soon. So guys, this is my end. Call to action. Sign up for the Surfathon. That's the beginning of where the next leg of the Surfer Bible is going. Yes. Get your friends involved. Raise donations. It's an $8 donation to get a Bible into the hands of someone. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share the YouTube content. And I've just realized one massive important thing which I forgot is the Bible is not only print to digital, as in you get the printed Bible, you use the QR code, and then you go watch it. What we have is an amazing donor who's also going to be paying for pay-per-click advertising. So we're going to be doing short 15-second, 30-second clips of testimonies and stuff. That's going to go to Facebook, to YouTube as paid advertising, which will get served to an audience. So we can select an audience like, for say, someone like Surfline. We can push that to an audience member like that. They may not click on it, but if there's just a spark of interest, God does a little thing. They're going to click on it, they go to the website, they watch the full thing, and then they say, hey, I want a Bible. And you guys have raised the money for the Bible. So that's what pumps me up. Just this morning, I was chatting to a guy I've just met, a Frenchman who has come from America, is now living here. He said he was on a journey. He was traveling the world. He was in Indonesia. He looked for spiritual wisdom. He was reading books. He was into crystals. And he thought, I'll get to looking at Jesus. So he was checking everything out. And so he was on the internet. His first introduction was a YouTube video. He watched a testimony of someone, and he thought, wow, okay, this God's changed someone's life. The next thing he thought, well, the Bible's the most sold book in the world. Before he makes a decision, he should read this. So he read it. And that was the starting point of his journey to becoming a Christian. We're filming his testimony later today, and man, that pumps me up. That from someone watching something on YouTube to getting a Bible in their hands and is now sharing that with the rest of the world. And this is a Frenchman, or an American Frenchman, but that's it, guys. That is amazing, and I'm so stoked for this project to happen. So really, this is a personal plea. Please share content. Talk to Kyle about getting content. 28th of October is the surfathon, and Roy's taking over.
No, I'm not. I just, no. Just wanted to underline what Rees was saying there. The $8, so the surfathon is going to happen globally. Doing it through a project called Rees. But the $8 actually includes the delivery of that Bible via mail into the hands of anyone who asks for it. Wow. So every $8 is the printed Bible delivered to any surfer online who actually asks us to send it to them.
So anywhere in the world. That's me, done.